Recording. Okay, there we go. Okay.
All right, this is the house that lived in all through grade school. We moved in on my 6th birthday, which is pretty exciting because it's my birthday, but it's also the first house our family lived in by ourselves. Up to that time, we lived with my grandparents up across town. So this house used to be a lot bigger than it is now. In my memory, it was a really big house, a big porch. But we just walked through it. It's not a very big house. Over the house to the right, I don't remember the kid's name, but he was a couple of years older than I was. But he never could figure out how to work the brake pedal, where you move the pedals backwards to brake. So the way he would get off his bike, he would just run it into the steps over there and crash it and fall off. So he was always scraped up. And the other significant thing about him, all he would eat was hot dogs. And he's a really tall, skinny kid. So, my mother always told me that the way to, if you ate hot dogs all the time, it would make you really tall. I thought the next door, the 3 houses down, were extended family, 3 generations, named Pilitary. And this larger neighborhood is actually an Italian neighborhood. I didn't realize it at the time, but we were living in a minority neighborhood. We were the minorities in an Italian neighborhood. The thing that's really significant about the Pilitary, well, 2 actually, in the yellow house there, they had a little girl about our age that got sick and died, which is the first time I'd ever experienced a child dying. And I remember that was a really traumatic time for Carolyn and me. But next door here, I think this was the guy that owned there's an Italian grocery store down at the end of the street. It's not there anymore. It's where the yellow street sign is. But he owned that store and had a little more money than most people in the neighborhood. And he had race cars. And there used to be a garage back at the end of the driveway there, and he would work on his cars back there. There's always 2 or 3 race cars in his backyard. Every Saturday night, he'd take them down to the fairgrounds because they had races on Saturday night. Once or twice, we got to go down there. But this is where my love of NASCAR began, because we'd sit in the cars during the week and pretend we were driving them, which was kind of a fun thing to play on. And the red house over there was a lady that lived by herself, a widow, I suppose. And she wasn't a very friendly type of person. And every year at Halloween, she was the only person in the neighborhood that would not have candy for her. So she would turn off all the lights, close the doors, I guess sit in the dark in there, just so she wouldn't have to give out candy to the kids. So every year before Halloween, for a few weeks, all the kids in the neighborhood would talk about what we were going to do to our house. We were going to soap it, or we were going to do whatever. We had elaborate plans for how we were going to trick her because she wouldn't treat us. And then come to Halloween night, we'd all chicken out, and we never did anything to her. We were more interested in going to more houses and getting candy, I guess, than playing tricks on her.
Well, give us the address of this house, Sam, and how long did you live here?
725 4th Avenue West in Birmingham, and we lived here from 1949 to 1955, from my 6th birthday through graduation from grade school at Woodrow Wilson Elementary School. And we moved, this was the house we left to go to California in June of 1955.